Medley relay, 20 points. 5 teams taking the start. Teams about to make their way out onto pool deck. $20 points relay just means that the classifications of all the swimmers involved in the relay team cannot be in excess of 20 points. So if you're an S1, it's worth 1 point. If you're an S2, you're worth 2 points. So the 4 swimmers cannot add up to more than 20. So average is 5 points. So if you have 4 S5s, that's you 20 points, so you're okay. So you see different combinations in the teams. It was the team of Brazil who were successful in the freestyle relay ahead of Ukraine and Russia. And those 3 medalists from a few nights ago are all here. We have the Spanish team also in lane number 6, who traditionally been very successful in 20-point relays in the past, and the Italian team who did so well in the women's relay to win a medal a few nights ago, and they will be hoping their men can emulate the performance of the women.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the pool deck the competitors for the final.
Teams about to come on to the pool deck. We do like the relays.
Medley relay at the 2013 IPC Swimming World Championships.
First team that you will see are the team from the Russian Federation. Should be familiar names to you. Starting with the man who had such an excellent swim earlier this evening in the S2 class, in the S2 100 freestyle. Dmitry Kokarev is the lead-off man for the Russian Federation. Alexei Fomenkov, Denis Tarasov and Alexei Lezikin.
In lane number 3, representing Team
Denis Tarasov, an S8 swimmer, a really fast swimmer there. But that, of course, balanced out by the S2 swimmer on the first leg. Ukraine, well, they'll be strong. Vino Radets, Komarov, Bodaiko, Mustafayev. That is going to be very, very tough to beat, that Ukrainian team. If anyone can do it, it may well be the Brazilians. Daniel Diaz, Roberto Rodrigues, Taliesin Glock, and Roston Cordeiro da Silva. Very, very strong team also. The Italians, can they get in? Castagneto, Bensi, Morelli, Taras. Trying to emulate, as I said, what their women did in the relay the other night. Martinez Tayelo, Ricardo Ten, Bayon Galindo and Rodriguez. That's the Spanish team. Strong team, and traditionally they have been strong in this relay. World record held by China, 2:33.15. Could that go? Well, it's a possibility. Brazil very strong. Ukraine very strong. Russia will start slow but will finish fast. Things could change about here.
And this is what we call a straight final. Only 2 teams have posted a time to qualify. In the names of Italy and Brazil, centre of the pool. So with just 2 teams posting a time, we do wonder how this race will pan out. But Brazil, as you saw in the introductions, have the awesome foursome, really. They were so dominant last night. They perhaps have the strongest team they've ever had. They've got 25 national team swimmers, many of them household names. We saw them in London at the Paralympic Games. Well, you can see the margin of difference already. Italy are in second, but almost in in the pool of their own.
A great first leg there by Daniel Diaz, 36.41, and he now hands over to Roberto Rodriguez. We saw him win a gold medal earlier in the SB5 class, so he is a strong man to have on the breaststroke leg here. Second position, well, it's very, very close, and it could well be Ukraine possibly in second position, maybe Italy, and Spain also in there. Over there in lane number 6. Maybe Spanish coming through now. Ricardo 10 swimming very, very well. That's the Russian in the foreground of your shot there. But Brazil are almost out of shot. They're coming into the turn now. Great leg there from Roberto Rodriguez. And he will hand over to Timo Glock. Fast changeover that one.
It was, and the team of the Ukraine are coming in right here for the changeover in lane number 3. That was a good takeover right there. So team of Ukraine in silver. Brazil though, well, look at that. There must be, you can see the red discs there. That's some 15 meters separating the two national teams. And here's the final changeover. Lane number 4, Brazil are away. And they're away for gold. Surely they can't be caught.
It's the S4 swimmer for Brazil, probably their weakest swimmer on the last leg, but they have such a big lead that surely they cannot be caught. It looks like the Russian team, in fact, it's the Ukrainian team in second place, Mustafayev, eating up the distance between him and the Brazilian swimmer. It is going to be eaten up, as I said, with every stroke, but surely it cannot be lost now for the Brazilians as they come into the red zone, the red markers, 5 meters to go. It's going to be goal for Brazil, but it's going to be very, very tight. Brazil get it, 237.86. Ukraine pressed them all the way for second position, 239.75, and Spain are in the medals, 242.60, with the Russians behind them, 252.23, and the Italians just finishing now with Taras in 5th position.
That's perhaps a little disappointing. Italy were centre of the pool given the strength of that team. Lanes 4s and 5s, always the fastest qualifiers. So Italy out of the medals. And here's the first leg swimmer. And of course the first changeover. There's Brazil. A little slow there. You need to start to react before the swimmers touch the wall. He's waiting, then goes. So they would have lost a good half a second right there. But here's the second changeover. Let's see if that's any better.
I thought this was very quick, this one.
Well, you are allowed to be fully extended. No, that was pretty good. You can actually be further in flight. So again, they could have improved their performance by perhaps a couple of 3/10 of us. He's moving, and actually that was probably better than I thought in super slow motion. And this is the final takeover. Waiting again to see the touch. He can move when he sees that last arm stroke come over. He needs to start to get away, because as long as he has contact with the wall, then it wouldn't warrant a disqualification. So Brazil could have found perhaps a couple of seconds there on the takeover. And in lane number 3, as you could see, the Ukrainians were chasing them down, and they wouldn't want it to have lost on takeovers. So well done to Brazil, but room for improvement in the future.
Cordelio da Silva was hanging on there, hanging on. They put their weakest swimmer, their lowest class swimmer, on the last leg, so they knew everyone would come back to them, and they did do that, but not quite enough, because Cordelio da Silva was able to hang on and to touch the wall first for the Brazilian team. I'm just waiting for the results to be ranked on our system. We think that everything is okay, and there are no disqualifications as far as we can tell.
Well, here's the second changeover once again. He's moving, but ooh, it was just didn't quite have visual there with his foot and his leg in contact with the block. It needs to be in contact, so We certainly don't want a disqualification. I would say it's a perfect takeover. We don't like to use that word in sport because that equals risky. Oh, no, it's good. It's good. You could just lose his toes there, but we're waiting for the fingertips to touch the wall. His toes need to be in contact with the starting block. For me, that equals perfection. But there is electronic timing to determine that. So it is measured electronically.
I'm not sure if we are getting the result. I thought we were about to get the confirmed result.
It's all about pressure, Paul, on the starting block. Of course, it can feel that weight. It feels the weight distribution. There needs to be weight in contact with the block. If there's nothing there, then there's a disqualification. But from my trained eye, it looks, well, as I said, perfect. But that equals risky, so let's see. Still waiting.
Well, we've got two boards. We've got the scoreboard in the pool, which has ranked in the order with Brazil at the top. So there's no disqualification on the scoreboard in the pool. We've got our information center, our information system, which is not ranked. So there is some delay for whatever reason.
It's perfectly right that the swimmer moves on the final stroke, and that's what happened. Now, if there is a disqualification, we should not point the finger at the swimmer diving into the water. They will know the stroke count in the final zone, the red hot zone, 5 meters from the wall. And there was an extra short stroke taken there, which perhaps the final swimmer didn't anticipate. And that takes time to recover and, of course, do the pulling, sculling action and shoot the hands forward. So that's what made it a bit risky. But we're moments away from bringing you the official results for that event.
It's always drama with the relays. It's great for everyone here. They all love the relays. All the teams get behind their own national teams. They all have their favourites to cheer on. Oh, here's another one. Another angle we see.
This is a great picture of the arm reaching forwards. Now, does that oncoming swimmer take another stroke? He does. But does he get there? His hand's now pushing for the wall. The swimmer is reaching out on the dive. There's a splash contact on the pad. I actually think from that angle, the toes are about 3 or 4 centimetres off the starting block. And I'm a little bit concerned that there could be a disqualification here. We can see the splash in the water. Do we have contact, though, when we see the splash? I don't think we do.
Well, the Brazilians are cheering. They can see these pictures. The Brazilians are actually cheering, and they're trying to influence the decision, I think, of the officials, because they're saying, yeah, it's good. It's good, isn't it? All those Brazilians over on the far side. Oh, it's close, isn't it? Wow.
I'm not sure. If I had to give benefit of the doubt, I would say, in my honest opinion, it should stand.
Oh,
I feel it should stand. It was unbelievably tight. But you can act. If I'm right on the ruling, you're allowed to go to minus 0.02 of a second, so you're allowed to leave the block by 2/100ths. In other words, you are allowed to do a flying start. It doesn't have to be measured to the nearest hundredth or zeroed. You are allowed, because the electronic timing system is manually set.
Here we go.
Our scoreboard in the pool hall is showing a disqualification. Well, this will have to be analysed very, very careful, because there will be an appeal. You might say there has to be an appeal by the Brazilian national team. They are disqualified at the moment. We'll bring you more news as it unfolds.
Oh. Every time there's a delay, there is the prospect of a disqualification, and I think we have just witnessed why. Let's have a look here. I'm just going to see it one more time. Here we go.
So this is normal speed with a swimmer coming in. In the slow motion pictures, it was a little bit grainy perhaps. It's just so very difficult to tell.
In lane number 2, representing Team Russia.
We've seen it in slow motion, we've seen it in real play. You really have little choice in this decision. It could go either way. The judges will be looking at this relentlessly, but we have to move on. The final of